Hello everyone, this is Melissa, the Dreadful Mystic, and today I wanted to talk to you about cinnamon. So there is a lot of uses for cinnamon, and I'm just going to go over 3 of them right now because we'd be here all day if I talked about everything that cinnamon can do. So cinnamon, which I just love cinnamon, it smells so good. And it always makes me think of fall and comfort, and comfort foods usually involve cinnamon rolls, cinnamon toast, apple pie. It has cinnamon in it and would not taste the same without cinnamon. Cinnamon has a very comforting effect because it is a very warm herb. It has a lot of warming properties, and it is related to the sun. It's considered a sun element or fire element herb for good reason. If you've ever tried cinnamon by itself, which I do not recommend, it is very bitter and very hot, and you can search YouTube for people who have done this. The videos are hilarious. I kind of feel sorry for them because, I don't know, people associate cinnamon with sweet when it really isn't sweet at all. So, cinnamon is excellent for love and sex because it is very fiery and it raises your libido. Even just using it like in kitchen witchery and eating it, it is arousing. It makes your blood pump faster. Physically, it does these things regardless of whether you're using them as a magical, if you're using cinnamon as a magical tool or in magical uses or not. Cinnamon is great for people who have issues with like low blood pressure. If people who are feeling down, drained, cinnamon will boost your metabolism. So whenever you think about that in terms of using it in love and sex, which a lot of times those go hand in hand, then you can see how that is so powerful because it adds that fire, that spark, the spice in your love life. And it is one of the reasons why cinnamon is one of the ingredients of the spell the Deviant Witchery group is going to perform as an event in our new Moon Love Conjuring events. Which, again, if you haven't watched the video about that event, I will put it below in the description, as well as a link to Michael, the Deviant Witch, talking about cinnamon. It will also be in the link, as well as the events link will be in the description below. So you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to go over it quickly. Basically, what we're going to do is, hopefully every month during different phases of the moon, we are going to have an event where we're going to supply the ingredients list, not the actual ingredients, but the list of ingredients, and what we are casting for. We are casting this spell individually for individual purposes, but we are all going to be raising that energy together. Sort of like if you went to a circle meeting with a lot of other witches and participated in something like that. They do things like that a lot. So it is for the individual. We're just raising energy together. So we thought it would be a lot of fun to start doing that, enhance everyone's practice, get people out there practicing and doing stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. So why not? Anyway, cinnamon is great for love because, like I said, it's very fiery, warm. It'll stir up that passion, especially like if you've been in a relationship for a long time and it seems like the passion department has gotten a little cool. You can use cinnamon to raise those levels of from cool to really warm. And cinnamon also is very good for love as far as like bringing passionate people together. Cinnamon is about passion. It's that fire. Granted, a lot of times you want to add a little bit of a cooling element, like, water element with the spell you cast, such as an apple, which is another ingredient in the spell we're going to be doing on the new moon. Apples are related to water, and it helps keep that fire in check. You don't want it to go rampant, because there can be some consequences that you might not want regarding that. So that is another aspect of using something that belongs in the fire realm. A lot of times you need something to sort of balance it out. Make it you want that passion, but you don't want it to be like all-consuming passion. Cinnamon is also really good for healing work. Fire, again, it cleanses. A lot of people, I know, like whenever I first started down my witchy path, it took me a while to figure out how fire and healing connected. But there is a lot of healing in fire. So that's the reason why people would cauterize wounds, to prevent infection and things like that. Luckily, we don't really have to do that now, thankfully, because that would hurt. But fire has its place in healing. So let's say you are sick, you have a cold, or your loved one has a cold. Apple cider with cinnamon. Not only will the apple, again, using a water element, water is very good for healing. Apples have all kinds of health benefits, both in the mundane plane and the magical one. So you have apple cider with the cinnamon, and that not only does that like soothe all the effects of having a cold, sore throat, but that cinnamon will also aid in the healing factor as far as its antibacterial, and it'll boost energy. Whenever you have a cold, even though it's a very common form of sickness that everyone's experienced, it's not like a death-threatening thing. It leaves you so drained, and you just have no energy, and you don't want to do anything. And that cinnamon will boost your energy, help fight off the cold with its antibacterial functions, and you'll feel better. That's one of the benefits of healing with cinnamon. Whenever I was sick, Mom would always fix me something like, warm apple cider. Whenever I had the flu, when I just wasn't feeling well, she would give me like cinnamon toast. That is one of my favorite memories of childhood. Cinnamon toast was such a comfort food, not healthy, but comfort food is very rarely healthy. But it gives you energy. It helps you get past and burn through that sickness. So you can use it in a ton of different ways for healing. I'm going to, just a few suggestions, leave the rest to your creativity and imagination, but cinnamon can be used in so many ways in healing. Purification, Chinese lore and the way they use cinnamon has a lot to do with purification. They purify their temples by burning cinnamon. And again, being a fire herb, that makes a lot of sense. Fire cleanses. I mean, it may be disastrous, but, say if your house catches on fire or if a forest catches on fire, but there is no doubt in anyone's mind it will clean that area of everything. So you can use that in purification. And again, you can tie all this together with healing and even love. If you have had a fight with your loved one and you still feel that energy in the air, that, angry, tense energy that's often left behind when there's like a large fight ensues, you can walk into a room and still kind of feel that tension, that angry, fiery, stress-related tension that's left in a room when people are arguing or have been arguing, So you can utilize cinnamon to burn that out. Just get rid of it. You know, burn away that energy, burn away that tension, you know, stress-filled energy that's still left in the room. And it will clean it out, and the room will feel better. And as much as it is a fire element, you know, it still can be soothing, because you have that sort of warm, wrapped in a blanket on a cold night, soothing sensation. So whenever there are energies about in a room that make it uncomfortable, cinnamon is a really good herb to use to, you know, cleanse all that out and have that warm, comfortable feeling. You know, whenever you walk into someone's house and they have an apple cinnamon candle burning, it's just like, you just are so comforted, and it feels so good to walk into a house that smells that way, you know. So purification is, and plus, like, if you're sick, or if someone has been sick and now they're better, you know, they're healed, but you sort of still kind of feel that sickness lingering in the air. You know, I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but it's the feeling that I get a lot in hospitals. It's one of the reasons why I feel like a prolonged stay in hospitals can actually be detrimental, because you feel that sickness lingering in the air. So cinnamon, again, is another way you can purify that room to get rid of that lingering, uncomfortable, sicky feeling. You know, it just feels yuck. You walk in and it just feels gross, because, you know, that sickness kind of lingers, especially if it's something that's kind of prolonged, like the flu. Like, I don't know about you, but I've walked into, like, my daughter's room after she's gotten over the flu, and you can still kind of feel it in the air. So cinnamon helps purify that and gets all that yuck out. You know, it burns it away, and you're left with a much more soothing, comforting feeling. So, guys, that's it. 3 ways to use cinnamon in love, healing, and purification, and you can tie them all together so prettily with cinnamon. You know, it can be used for so many of those properties all at the same time. You know, so I enjoy cinnamon. It's a lot of fun to work with. It smells amazing. So, if you have any suggestions on how you utilize cinnamon that I didn't talk about, please comment in the comments on this YouTube video. Also, if you have any questions or just anything you'd like to discuss about cinnamon in general, hit me up and I would love to talk to you about it. So y'all have a wonderful, magical Monday, and I will see you later. Bye.